Hi, welcome to My FSY. This is a level 1 focus practice where we're going to be focusing on creating more ease in your hips and your hamstrings. We have Andrea today as our model, so she'll be demonstrating. And for this practice, you're going to need a blanket, a block, and a belt. Obviously, if you don't have any of these props at home, you can use something that would suffice, like an old tie or belt or something. And so if you're ready, Andrea, begin lying down on your back, please. Most people, when they lie down on their back, could benefit from having a little bit of support under their head. So we're going to open this blanket out just one time so she has a thin support. But the way to determine how much support you need is to feel whether or not your chin is above your forehead. So right now, you can see that Andrea's chin is just slightly below her forehead, which means her neck is able to lengthen and the whole spine will be able to really rest on the ground. What you don't want to have happening is your chin poking up. That just shortens, it tightens your neck, and it'll be very difficult for you to be at ease when you're lying down. So adjust your blanket accordingly. Begin with your knees bent, your feet on the floor, just as she's doing right now. And it's always a good idea to arrange your props nearby so you don't have to distort yourself to get them. So again, level 1, we're focusing on creating ease in the hips and the hamstrings. And the great thing about level 1 practices in My FSY is that we really take the time to go over the details of how to align your body. So we've already discussed the alignment of your neck and head. She'll take another moment to lengthen her pelvis away from her lower back ribs. You can do this on your own by bringing your hands to the back of your pelvis and just sliding the back of your pelvis away from your back ribs. And that just gives your lower back a sense of ease and space. Once you've done that, rest your hands on your lower belly and take a few moments to feel the simple rise and fall of your belly. Always simple, right? It rises as you inhale. It falls as you exhale. So you take this time to just feel at ease in your back, long in your back, and have some sense of connection to your natural breath. Good. You can release your hands down to the side. And as you feel your exhale, hug your right knee into your chest. You keep it simple. Super simple. We sometimes forget that this is even a hip opener. That we're actually stretching the very back of the hip and softening the muscles at the front of the hip. So she's just hugging the knee to the chest. She's keeping her neck long and her back long on the floor. Good. Inhale, release that foot down. As you exhale, hug your left knee to your chest. When you're practicing this on your own, it's very important that you keep your breath just fluid. That's the main quality you want to bear in mind. Fluid breath. Nothing fancy. Never force your breath. Just keep it moving. As you inhale, release your left foot to the ground. As you exhale, hug both knees to chest. And so she just squeezes in. And when you feel the fluidity of your breath, you'll notice that each time you exhale, the legs fall in a little bit more easily. Of course, you can use your arms to facilitate that. You can give a squeeze with your arms, but don't overdo, don't distort your neck. Just focus on ease. Good. From this position, keep both hands on your right shin and stretch your left leg up to the sky. As you reach your left leg up to the sky, flex your foot, spread your toes, and extend up through your left heel. Good. And I want you to keep that foot awake as you reach it out and down. Out meaning away from your torso, and down meaning toward the ground. And you breathe as you go. You stretch through that straight leg while you keep hugging your bent leg toward your chest. Good. Release. Bend both knees. Bring the feet on the floor where it all started. Knees bent, feet to ground. Exhale, hug both of your knees to your chest again. Keep hugging just your left shin with both hands. Stretch your right leg up to the sky. Now, when you're a little bit tighter in your legs, might not be as vertical as you see Andrea's is right now, but just do your best to flex the right foot, to spread the right toes, and to reach through the heel. Good. And she's going to keep doing that as she reaches the leg out and down. Out means away from your torso. Down toward the ground. You're not in a hurry at all. Just keep reaching through the leg. Beautiful. Bend both knees, feet on ground. Again, as you exhale, hug both of your knees into your chest. Keep hugging just your right shin as you stretch your left leg up to the sky. Flex your foot, spread your toes, and reach through the heel. Good. Again, reach that leg out and down and out and down. Yeah. Wonderful. This is where your belt comes in handy. You take your belt, your strap or whatever you have, you loop it around the sole of your right foot, right at the arch. With one hand on each strand of that belt, begin to stretch your right leg up to the sky. Now, the important point is that you want the leg to be able to straighten. When you first come to yoga, typically there's a lot of tightness in the hamstrings, and so you might find that your straightness is not even close to vertical. That's totally fine. Focus on straightening your right leg. Yeah, to straighten your leg, you firm the muscles around your right knee. You reach through your heel, but just be careful not to firm your face or tense your throat. So sometimes we inadvertently tighten the wrong areas. Firm knee, reach through heel, relax your throat, and see if you can continue to breathe easily through your belly. Good. And release. I'll take the strap for you, Andrea. You could hug both of your knees into your chest again. Hug both knees in. Great. Keep hugging just your left shin. Stretch your right leg back up to the sky. Flex your foot, spread your toes. Begin to reach that leg out to come down. Out to come down. Excellent. Bring the strap around your left foot now, right at the arch. Give yourself a generous amount of strap. That's super important as well. Sometimes we think we need to go to our maximum. Just give yourself enough strap, enough slack, we should say, so that your leg can straighten. Don't worry about how close the leg comes to your face. Just firm the muscles around your left knee. Reach up through your left heel. And breathe your leg straight. Some things we say in yoga always sound silly, right? Because obviously you don't have lungs in your leg. So breathing your leg straight sounds sometimes a little bit odd. But what we find is that sometimes if you just imagine that you could breathe through the leg like it was maybe an orange windsock out at the airfield, that somehow the visualization, the imagination starts to produce little openings. You breathe through the belly. You imagine exhaling out of that leg like it's an orange windsock. Great. And then release. I'll take strap. You can bend both of your knees to your chest. Squeeze the knees in. That's it. Good. And then release the soles of your feet down to the ground. From here, she'll bring the soles of her feet together and let the knees drop apart. Yeah. Now, for some people, especially when you begin, right, you spend time sitting at a desk or maybe a lot of time in your car, the muscles of your inner thighs will typically get tight just from never really assuming this open shape. So it's important, again, that you don't force your knees down. Don't try to push the legs to the ground. just feel how your exhalations and the force of gravity, that's plenty sufficient for helping the legs to drop open. Couple breaths. That's it. Easy breaths into your belly. And the exhales almost do the work for you. Take your hands to your outer thighs, fold the knees together like the pages of a book. Hug both of your knees to your chest again, so just simple knees to chest. Keep hugging your right shin in while you stretch your left leg up to the sky again. Once more, flex foot, spread toes, reach through heel. Good. And then keep reaching through that leg as you lower it out to come down. Out and down and out and down. For most people, especially in the beginning, the farther your foot gets away from your face, the more likely you are to sort of lose track of it. So it takes a little bit of focus, again, a little bit of your attention to keep that leg awake. And when it does touch the ground, the wakefulness of your foot contributes to the easy length of your spine. Now again, you'll fish around for your strap, and you loop it around the sole of your right foot. With one hand on each strand, you start to straighten the leg up toward the ceiling. There you go. I know it's kind of a long strap. Good. Walk your hands up the strap so that both arms are straight. So again, your focus is on extending through your bottom leg so you reach out through it. Then you also will notice, and this takes a little while to get sensitized to, you'll notice that when your right leg is stretching up to the sky, that side of your waist gets short. Typically, the right hip will sort of hike up into your right ribs. So do your best to move the right hip away from your right ribs. You can see how I'm kind of helping Andrea with that right now, moving the right hip down away from her lower right ribs. And that alignment will preserve the even length of your lower back. And the other interesting thing is, it actually invites more breath. You'll feel the inhales start to flow down into your belly more easily. Good. Now from here, take both of those straps into your right hand. Open your left arm out wide to the side. Mentally revisit your bottom leg, meaning you're going to reach through that leg, reach through the heel, spread the toes. Then, keeping the anchor of your bottom leg, position your block just to the outside of your top leg, so it'll be on the floor. And hopefully we can see that. Yeah. If you can also see how I've sort of angled the block, that just makes it more comfortable when you do eventually begin to lower it down. So Andrea's going to slowly drop her right leg over to the right. And as always, there's no rush. We're not in a stretch competition or anything, so you don't try to force your leg to the ground. And when you're in the beginning, sometimes, as we've said, when you're just starting out in yoga, when you spend a lot of time sitting at a desk, the whole chain of your muscles on your inner thigh will typically be tight. So giving yourself this simple prop, a little angled block, is actually going to help them release more favorably than you forcing the leg. Good. 3 breaths right there. Easy inhales to your belly. And as you exhale, you imagine the clarity of that leg, almost like that orange windsock out at the airport. Beautiful. And then come back to center. And I'll take this strap. You can lay both of your legs down on the ground. Keep them straight. Close your eyes for a moment and just relax the legs. And while it seems like this is sort of a insignificant in-between moment, it's very helpful to notice the difference between the legs after you've done one of the poses on one side. What most people will feel right now is that the right leg seems more down to earth, more at ease. Some people report that it feels clearer, like, wow, you said orange windsock, and actually it does seem like there's a little more space through the leg. In any case, we'd probably all agree that we want the left leg to feel like the right. So you can let your eyes open, bend your knees, slide the feet along the ground, and again, hug both of your knees to your chest. Keep holding on to just your left leg. Stretch the right leg up to the sky again. Flex foot. Spread toes, reach through heel. Slowly lower that leg down to the ground, out and down. Out and down. Good. You grab your strap again. With one hand on each strand to start, you stretch that left leg up to the sky. Now again, if you're watching the video, right, before you practice maybe, you might notice like, oh gosh, there's no way my leg could be that close to my face. Don't compare yourself to anybody else's body, to their practice. Just work your edge and establish the leg at what's straight for you. Good. So she's going to bring both of the straps up into her left hand. She'll put the block at the angle just to the outside of the left hip. And then revisiting the right leg, you make the right leg strong and straight. That'll sort of be a counterweight. Good. Take your right arm out to the side as well. Slowly start to drop your left leg to the left. Yeah, let it come down onto that angled block. Sometimes when you do drop it over, it will start to bend at the knee. So we're not worried about how close the foot is to your face or anything. We're not worried about how close the foot is to the ground. You're just making sure that the leg is straight. And that's how you start to actually create more flexibility in both your adductor muscles and your hamstring muscles. You breathe. Good. And then bring your leg up to center. I'll take the strap. You can lower both legs onto the ground. You close your eyes for another recline, sort of mini meditation, and you feel, hopefully, a little more balance between your right and left legs. A little more groundedness. A little more clarity, right? And overall ease. Last thing, let your eyes open, bend your knees, slide the feet along the ground, and hug both of your knees into your chest. Our last pose in this mini practice is called Happy Babies pose. So to do it, you grab hold of the outside edges of your feet with your hands, and you aim the soles of your feet up toward the sky. That's pretty easy for Andrea, you'll note. And for some, you might say, wow, there's no way I can actually hold my feet and aim them up to the sky. If that's the case for you, no big deal. Just hold on to your shins with your hands, and she might even show you that as well. Yeah. Either way, you want your knees to be just a little wider than your torso. The soles aim straight up toward the ceiling. Yeah. And you want to focus on drawing the legs closer and closer down toward the ground. And you can go ahead and hold your feet since that's attainable for you there. This is a wonderful pose. A wonderful pose for mobilizing the hips in general. And it's actually sort of preventative for lower back problems. The more flexibility you have around the hip joints, the less likely your lower back is to volunteer for movements that it wasn't really designed to do. So you give yourself 3 more good breaths, focusing on the legs coming down toward the side of that chest. Keep the back of your neck long. Your breath easy in your belly. And then release. Beautiful. Both knees bent, both feet down to the ground where it all started. Rest your hands on your belly once more. And just close your eyes. We call this constructive rest pose. And as I mentioned moments ago, this is probably one of the best positions you could be in if you do have challenges with your lower back. And the beauty of this sequence is that really anybody can do it. We really hope that you realize that. Anybody can do the level 1 poses here at MyFSY. And in a short period of time, we think that you'll feel more at ease. Thank you very much for practicing with us. See you next time.